Would you like to discover more about Google My Business? Maybe some tips you've never heard of before? Maybe some facilities or tools on there that you've not discovered yet? Well, today I'm going to show you 26 things that are really going to drive more sales by means of Google My Business and its optimization. Welcome to my video. So I'm Zane from Zanet Design, and I help businesses have new websites. I build them so that they grow on the internet. So if you want to know more about how you can use Google My Business to grow your website business, then this is the video for you. So make sure you subscribe below. Make sure you click the alert button so you don't miss the next update video. So how am I going to go about showing 26 things, many of these things you may never even have come across before, hidden away in Google My Business? Well, the way I've set out to do this today is I've decided to make it into an A to Z glossary. So we're going to take each letter of the alphabet and show a feature that you probably may not have come across and the reason why that feature can be useful for your business today. So let's jump straight in and I'll show you how to go about it.
So A is for attributes. To get to attributes, if you go to info, and once you've clicked on info, you'll notice as you come down the page, you then get where it says highlights, add attributes. And so if you click on that, and then you'll be given the attributes that you can choose from. So I accept online appointments, but I'm not woman-led. Depending on your category and your business, you'll get different ways and different attributes. And then you just basically need to make sure you click the ones that are relevant to your business. And it just lets the customers know when they discover you some of the things that you offer. B is for booking. So this is really booking appointments. And if you click on info, there you'll see you have appointment links. And this is a new feature that Google's released recently where you can add a URL. So it can be either you're using some booking software, calendar software, or it could just be it's part of your website, which in my case it is. You can just put your URL, and then what it will do is when people want to book an appointment, they'll click on the button and it'll take them through to this landing page. So it's really useful little tool that's just been released in the last month. So C is for categories. Categories are an important way of telling customers where you should be found. So when they do searches in Google Maps in particular, then categories are used. So categories here. So what you want to do is you want to make sure that your categories describe what your business is and not what it sells. That's the description there that Google give us. So you have a primary category. You can have additional categories if they're relevant. Use at least one good primary category. Just see what your competitors are using. And then if you need extra categories, add them, but don't add more than 2 or 3. If you go more than that, you'll find it could dilute your ability to appear in the results. So D is for dashboard. And this is the dashboard. Basically what Google wants you to concentrate on Google My Business will appear here. So if they want to promote reviews, you'll get the box here. At the moment, it's very much about promoting the way of staying your business afloat in COVID-19. So again, follow through these things, make sure they're updated and stick with the standard suggestions that they provide, either on the app or using this dashboard itself. So E is for events. If you click on posts, then you'll come through to where you can find events. So if you click on events, you can see your previous events that you've put in. Events work slightly differently to updates because they do allow for a date, a starting date and an ending date, even a time if you want to as well. So you can have videos, you can have photos, then you can put some details through to how they can find out more about the event. But events do run longer. You can have them running longer than a week, which is useful because when it comes to adding other posts and news updates, those things generally only last for 7 days, whereas events can run longer than that. So this is often useful in SEO terms. So F is for features. And features will appear on your dashboard from time to time. So as we mentioned, COVID-19 is one of the features. They do promote other things, but you'll notice this view plan as well. And this is just, again, some recommendations from Google. So you want to click that. And if there's anything that you've not done yet, any features you've not discovered, any areas you need to do to get your Google My Business up and running correctly, then it may appear here. But when it comes to anything important, the features can often appear here, so keep alert for any changes, any suggestions that Google puts your way. So G is for Google My Business app. And by means of the app, it means that you can take messages and bookings and you can respond to your customers straight away while you're on the go. So H is for holiday hours. So you notice that you have hours, which is your standard hours that need to be consistent, but also you can have more hours and you can have holiday hours. Holiday hours can be found here under info, and then you can then respond to up and coming holiday events. Again, it's an interesting thing, but that signals to Google that you're very much up and running if you make sure they're kept up to date. So that's a real top tip there. Keep it up to date. Google likes it. So I is for Insights. Easy to miss this, but Insights gives you a lot of information. Now, one of the things to aim for when you're looking at your Insights is to make sure you get your branding. Branding is a real important part of getting fresh traffic, so aim to get branding working for you. And also it gives you an idea of how you're doing against other competitors. You can see where you're getting calls from and so on. Notice here photos are really important. So again, looking at when you add photos, see what impact it has on your traffic. Of course, you're trying to do better than your competitors, so you get an idea as to how the competitors' traffic also rates when it comes to photos. So photo quantity also has a big impact on traffic. So there's a top tip as well. Make sure you keep adding photos on a regular basis and you'll find you get a lot more traffic. So J is for journey. You'll notice that when you appear in the 3-pack or the map pack, you'll notice that if you've got directions on, then that gives the ability for someone to find you. So if they're on a mobile, they can click that and it's a bit like a TomTom navigation. It'll take them wherever they are to your office or your shop front. So directions or journey, that's really an essential signal to Google when people click on that. So K is for knowledge panel. So the knowledge panel is this area here to the right hand side. So if you type in your business in Google search engine, you'll find then that your knowledge panel should appear. If it doesn't, then you haven't registered or verified your business. If it has, you'll see many of these things then coming up, and that's really kind of almost a branding in itself of your business. So that's a knowledge panel. L is for logo. Now, I mentioned the importance of photos, but probably the most important photo is your logo. So when you upload photos, upload a good high quality logo and make sure that you label it as a logo. And the reason you do that is that if you go back to the search engine results we had here, you'll notice the logo appears. This is again related then to what we looked at regarding branding. Do you remember we saw that? We go back to here, the importance of branding. So your logo plays a big part in having an impact on people remembering you and coming back to your business. So M is for marketing kit. Now I had a video that mentioned about the marketing kit, and basically it's a free tool, or it's a free download from Google itself. So if you go to marketingkit.withgoogle.com, I'll put the link down below in the description of this video, and you can then enter your business, and once it comes up you can click on that, and then what it will do, it will show you some materials that Google can provide for you. And if you go through these things, you'll notice that you can change certain things, but you can also download these and print them off. So if you wanted some stickers for the shop window, if you just wanted to get people to see some of the comments that have been said, or even some posters, then you can download these and you can then obviously share them, or some electronically, some for printing. N is for the name of your business, and this is one of the most important things you'll ever do. Now, if you've already got your business established, then of course you can't change the name. but you'll notice in one of my recent videos, having the name and the way the name's portrayed in Google My Business can have quite an impact on the traffic. So you need to make sure when you enter your name of your business, it's the consistent one, as it says, enter your business title as it appears in the real world. So many people have tried to do spammy things, but in time that won't work. If you're in it for the long haul, then make sure you put your correct name. It's all part of the NAP, the name, address and phone number, and that will make sure that the consistency then gives credit to your business, and your business can appear in the results as they should do. So O is for offers. So if you click on posts, you'll then notice that you can add an offer, and you have offers as well. So with offers, the difference is you can have a coupon code. So you can add a coupon, you can make it so that it can be redeemed on a certain page, and you can have it where it expires as well. The useful thing with the code is if you say something to make it clear, to stand out as being unique to that code, then not only do you know where it's come from, but also it'll remind you what the offer is as well. So you can add as many codes as you want, but when you add a code, obviously it means that they then would click through to your website to redeem it. And at the other end of that link, you want to make sure on your website you've got a contact page or contact form where there's a place to put the coupon code. And in that way then the two marry up nicely. So P is for products. So if you click on products on the left hand side menu, you can get the option of adding products, and you can have different ranges of products as well. So for example, if I click on special offers, I have these offers which I run on my website continuously, and these also can act as quite useful keywords as well. These will appear, so you can have different products with different sections on here, different categories of products you could say, and they appear when you go to your knowledge panel. Just notice again, you get the products appear here, so you can see these as they scroll along, but also you can see the categories of products. So bear in mind keywords are important if it's your town, or if it's a particular name of your company, or even just the fact of the services you offer. Keep those in mind when you decide on what the name of the category product will be as well. So that's just another little tip there when it comes to products. So Q is for questions and answers. Now questions and answers, they appear from time to time on your Google Knowledge panel, and what you want to do here is this gives an opportunity for customers to ask questions, but also gives you an opportunity to answer frequently asked questions. So you can go in there, you can click on ask a question, you can then write a question, and then you can also answer it as well. There's nothing wrong in answering your own questions on here. And then what that will do is build up a catalogue of questions that people have asked and that can be answered as well. And by doing that, you're just giving people answers. So here, for example, are you open on Sundays? And it gives you a chance again to use some keywords if you're into optimization, but at the same time it also gives you a chance to answer well-known questions that you keep receiving, and that again gives a good service to your customer, but it also means you can optimize your Google My Business. So R is for reviews. So it's always important to reply to reviews, to collect reviews. You can also ask for reviews by means of a link, which we'll come on to in a moment. So always answer your reviews, make sure you've replied to them. If you have a bad review, then still be polite and kind and stay professional. And these reviews, of course, will give a rating. So the rating will appear here, and obviously a lot of people get hung up on the ratings. Ratings aren't that important really, the score isn't that important either. Google does make it clear that it's the quantity, the velocity and the diversity of reviews that has an impact. So there's a bit more to that. I've done a video on explaining how reviews work as well, so look out for that. And of course reviews can also appear a bit further down as well, and you can then see all reviews. You can put reviews on your website as well. So all these things add up to just really authenticating the business and helping people trust. So it's a bit like a checker trade type of thing, but at the same time it's quantity, velocity and diversity. So S is for short name. If you click on information, you come down the page and you'll see there that you then have this @ sign, and that's where you can add your short name and just add something that's easy to remember, quite catchy, that's unique. You can change it a few times a year, it suggests, if you needed to, But really this is all to do with helping your business appear on Google Maps, Google Search, and helping you to remember some of the URLs which we'll come on to when we come to the letter U. So T is for temporarily closed. So a lot of people have had to be temporarily closed, unfortunately, with the virus in recent months. You can see where on Google's info there's an area where you can close the business. It's never permanently close the business unless you are actually going to permanently close. Temporarily closed is purely for some time period. So if it's longer than 2 weeks, which would be a holiday period, then you can mark it as temporarily closed, and then you can come back and then you can reopen. But if it's less than 2 weeks or 2 weeks, you can just have it as holiday hours, and you can add that here, or you can make some changes. So the idea is that holiday hours are really for 2 weeks or so. Temporarily closed is for longer than 2 weeks. So U is for URL. And URL is important because you remember we looked a moment ago at the short name, and if you notice here, get more reviews, if you click on share review form, you notice you get this short name. So G-page or G.page is the way Google does this, and there's that short name is included there, Zanet Design, and then you've got review RC, RC, and if you share that will enable you to then get direct reviews. So enable your customer to write reviews about you. But if you just take the first part of that, so the G-page / Zanet Design, that will just take you through to your knowledge panel, and it will show how you look on Google Maps. Let's just try that. So this is how it looks if you just type in the G.page / and then the short name, which in this case was Zanet Design. And this is how it looks if you put the one with the / and then the review part at the end, the review part, review RC. So in both ways, the short name gets used using the URL. So V is for verification code, and that comes normally via a postcard. Now a lot of people get hung on the fact that they're worried about putting their address in here when they first require registration with Google, and the reason they're worried is that they're worried that then people are going to visit their home. The purpose of this is just to get the postcard, the verification of your business. It doesn't require, you can't have post office boxes or PO boxes. Your address will be hidden from the public. So when you enter this address, you're purely registering your address with Google so that you've got a physical building that Google can send a postcard to. After then, you can choose services or service area where then your address isn't shown, just the area you covered is shown. This is often confused, but hopefully that makes it clear for you. So W is for website. So most people don't realize, but you do get a free website. So it's not a business website, it's only one page, but it shows your latest information and details that you've entered. It builds together a gallery, it puts your map on there. So it does everything that a basic business would need. You can choose themes as well, you can make edits and so on. Basically it just puts together all the information that you've provided about your business. And if you wanted to share the website, you can click on here where you can view the website. And this again is just a case of it's a website that you can send people to if you wanted to at least have something to show initially. So a free website from Google, it's not particularly professional, but it does work and it's usable. Okay, so we're getting to X, Y, Z, which isn't easy. So I'm going to use X for expert. So if you go to YouTube and you type in Zanet Google My Business Expert, and hopefully then you'll find that this comes up, which is a complete channel looking at more the expertise behind some of the things that appear in Google My Business. And if you click on there, and then there you'll see several lessons you can follow: how to avoid suspension, some tips for 2020, how to get fast growth, all these things here, how to get a 360 free video, and so on. Hopefully these are going to be useful if you want to become an expert in Google My Business. Y is for Yelp, and other ways in which you can build up your citations. So it's always important with Yelp or with Yell or whichever citation area you're going, that you make sure that it's updated, that the name, address and phone number is consistent, and that you make sure that you get reviews as well, which is having an impact at the moment on how Google My Business views you. So even though this isn't Google My Business, it does actually have an impact on how Google views your business, how Google views your branding. So do make sure you register with as many as possible that's important to your particular category of business. And Z is for Zanet Design. If you want to know more about Google My Business, of course, then Zanet Design is hopefully the place you're going to think of when you want some free advice. So on here, I give Google My Business advice. I've got a load of videos that are helpful. I answer people's questions, get quite a few questions here as well. So if you've got something that you want answered, or if you want some web design help, or you want some local SEO help, then hopefully zanet.co.uk or Zanet Design is the Z that you'll think of. So there's the 26 areas that I've covered. I wanted to make sure that I cover things that maybe you haven't come across yet. But of course, if you want more detail, you'll find all these things are covered on my YouTube channel and through my website. So hopefully I'll see you over there on the next video.